For the first time this season, there will be a touch of fall in the air. It really starts to move into the area on Labor Day weekend. And the air is coming up from the Hudson Bay region, and it's not likely to bring any widespread frost, although northern Minnesota may get a little touch of frost and maybe a smattering or two throughout the Great Lakes, and possibly somewhere in North Dakota, but I don't really think it's very likely that it's going to be getting that cold. Certainly South Dakota, Iowa, frost, I would say, is not likely, and it should start moderating again as the week goes along. But it'll be that cool, dry air with very cool mornings and fairly cool afternoons for several days in a row. Cool weather coming into the plains. Not much rain in the forecast. Usually when the air is as cool and as it will be this week, it tends to be fairly dry as well. And it continues to be tropical storm season. 50 inches plus in parts of southeast Texas. The reason, of course, a very slow-moving hurricane-turned-tropical storm. Don't know what the tropics will bring us the next couple of weeks, but there will be chances. Let's take a look at the overall pattern. First of all, as we go through this week, it's this little buckling of the jet. Ridge building up out west. Warm temperatures will go way up north into western Canada, and cool, even by some accounts, chilly weather will drop into the northern plains, but it should only last a few days while the warm weather stays out west. As we move on into the month of September, the really, truly hot weather, upper 90s, 100s, 110s, those tend to get pretty sparse. And this cool, by what we mean by this, is much cooler than average, not necessarily all coat and jacket weather, but it will be fairly cool and continued cool through the Great Lakes and the Northeast over the next few days. I think we will start to get some heat, at least 70s and 80s, maybe some stray 90s coming into western South Dakota by the end of the week. As far as precipitation goes, not much. There'll be a little bit in the eastern states, a lot of dry weather. We might get an intrusion of tropical moisture, some form or another, but really except for the eastern seaboard, I really don't see much rain in the forecast for this week. As we go to the second week, what's going to happen with that cool air? It will begin to retreat. Out west, the ridge will begin to falter just a little bit, eventually going into southwest flow. That will squelch the really, really warm temperatures to the southwest. And the dry weather will continue there. As this jet stream begins to buckle, we may see a rain system moving out of the Rockies. I have very low confidence in that. Basically, tropical moisture east, otherwise we're looking pretty dry. So the cool weather this week will also be mostly dry. The outlook for the mid part of September, not a lot of rain in the northern plains. We'll see what the tropics bring to the south and east, maybe the southern Corn Belt.